Hello, this is Tom with the Tractor Rescue Ranch. I am back to work on the Ford 3000. Finally got the parts. Show you that. That's the bearing that goes down in it. I got a story to tell about that deal, but boy, it feels a lot nicer in here. I come out about 15 minutes ago, lit that heater. We had about 10 degrees below zero this morning, so pretty cool for working out here, but it feels real nice in this insulated tool room. So anyway, there is my shiny new steering shaft. And I just was looking. It's been about 3.5 weeks ago since I ordered that. That seems longer than that, but took forever to get here. And when it showed up here, we found out why it took so long. It came from Korea. Shipped all the way from Korea after I ordered it. I wish they would tell you that when you order things. I've had that happen before, when it takes a long time to order something or long time to get something in, and then it shows up from overseas. I'd have probably been glad to pay a little bit more for the part if you could have it shipped and get it in a week. But anyway, that's what the deal was. But in the last video, I pulled that bearing out of that hole, and I attempted to put the new bearing in, and down in that hole, it's just impossible. You can't even get your hand down in there. That hole's so small. So I got it started wrong, and I messed up the new bearing. So anyway, I have since then had a new bearing ordered, and it came in. And so I'm going to attempt to put this thing together today. I showed you the new bearing. It's sitting out there in that -10 weather. And so this time what I'm going to do is, that's the bottom end of that hole where the bearing goes in, and I am going to heat that up. See if I can get it hot and expand that hole. And with that bearing frozen out there in -10, I'm hoping it'll drop into that hole a little bit easier. I can get the new bearing in without messing it up. So that's where we're at. Hopefully today I can get this whole steering column put together out here in the heated shop. And if the sun comes out and shines and burns through the fog out there, hopefully it'll warm up a little bit this afternoon, and I can get this steering column put back on the tractor. I've had that torch was out in the cold. It's too cold to even hold on to. Going to take some time to get that big chunk of steel up to heat. It dawned on me here. I got that part warming up, but I dawned on me that I had a bunch of rust down in there in the bottom of that hole. So I've just got this little Dremel just trying to clean up the sides of that, where that bearing goes down there. Just trying to clean up the rust a little bit. I'm not trying to cut any real metal out of it. Well, that did a good job. So I'm going to rinse that out. That's all nice and clean in there now. So I'll go back to heating again now. And I have never tried, I don't think, I've been trying to think back. I have never, don't think that I've ever tried this, but I've seen it done. The idea here is to heat up this hole so that when it heats up, it expands. And then the bearing is out in the cold. And when the bearing gets real cold, it shrinks. So the theory is here just to make it easier to get that bearing started and push down into that hole. I don't know, maybe I've done it in the past, but I've sure seen it done a lot, so hopefully it'll work for me. Okay, word of warning. I didn't have the camera running and I didn't have time to turn it on, but when I make mistakes, I like to show you the mistakes as well, because nothing ever goes perfectly. But anyway, turns out that stuff, I should have known, that stuff is really flammable. Anyway, I put some heat to this, and that where that spilled out there burst into flames. No real problem here. It burned out so quick that wasn't a problem, but just a warning, that carburetor cleaner is extremely flammable. I've got this part pretty hot. The rest of it is just warm to the touch. I don't want to get the whole thing really hot. These shafts have seals in them. Everything's still good, nice and tight in them. I don't want to mess with them seals. I don't want to get it that hot. So just this area where that bearing goes is what I'm trying to heat up pretty hot. I guess we'll give it a try here, see what happens. do believe I've got it started. Oh yeah, beautiful. That heating and cold did its trick. That new bearing sliding down in there real nice. Perfect. We are ready to go together in here.